We've got a couple items, and one of them is a request for a motion to amend for the a resolution to provide for the public comment to be moved forward earlier in the agenda. Can I have a motion for that?
I move.
Thank you, Mr.
I'll
Williams.
second it.
Thank you. All in
Mayor,
favor?
before we take a vote, I have a point of clarification
Sure.
on that item. I would like to know if public comment goes before and then we discuss, and if the public then has additional comments after hearing all of the business of the council, would they be then allowed to go to the podium and add to any business that we have discussed after they have already approached the podium?
Most definitely. If they want to wait, stay through the evening, most definitely.
Thank you.
I'm trying to make this a little easier for the mothers and fathers who have to get their kids in bed by 8 o'clock, you know, homework, et cetera, et cetera. So, yes, at any time they can interject, yes. So we have a motion, second, all in favor? Okay, thank you.
Mr. Mayor, so we will go ahead and draft an amendment to the procedural resolution to incorporate that. And if
the form of government almost was changed from what the charter says it is to a hybrid version, meaning the mayor was in control or wanted to be in control or tried to be in control. And in this case, it's not the way. We're running it by the book. And
what are some of the examples that you can give of things that you've done that maybe hadn't happened before that showed how you are making this conversation more open?
it's not me as much as it is as the chair of the committee. I let the dialogue take place. I don't shut down the dialogue. It's just the fact that I think what I've been able to do is give people the freedom to express their opinion, as opposed to having their opinion, squashed or berated for having a different idea than myself or you. So it's just opening the dialogue.
In the meetings and then outside of the meetings, are there other ways that you're doing this?
Okay, now what I would like to do at this time is I'd like to add a question to the council about public comments. In the past 8 or 9 months, the public comment section has been used as a tool to disrupt this council meeting. Last council meeting, we had over a 2-hour disruption. We had to move items forward. We don't want to disenfranchise the public comments. I think they are very important to what we do. But I think that as we all wait as council members to do our business, and as you manager and you attorney, we all wait to the end of the meeting to have our discussion about what's going on in the world. I'm asking the council for us to restructure the agenda to put public comments right before discussion from the city manager, city attorney, and council. That way, if there's a discussion issue that comes up from the public comment, we then at that point, you as manager, have the ability to address it if you're prepared, or not address it if you're not prepared. And we as council members can at the same time address it or not address it according to, our knowledge of the question or our knowledge of the comment. So my request to the council is it okay for you guys, for all of us, to move this agenda item to that section in the process? Second by Mr. Burgess. Mr. Shelley, did you have?
Yeah, that's effective next meeting?
Effective tonight.
Well, I have an issue with it being effective tonight, but I support what you're saying. I support it being effective going forward. but I can't support it being effective as of tonight.
Not, okay, there's one no vote for Mr. Shelley. Mr. Williams?
Yeah. Mayor, are we talking about moving public comment?
Just moving public comment from where it is in the beginning of the meeting to right before the city manager and the council.
Now, I remember this conversation. I one said that we ought to move it to the back, and everybody said, no, keep it in the front. And now you're saying move it to the back.
Now, I brought it up before and asked for a vote, and there was no support for it. I'm bringing it up again simply because if you think about the last meeting, we had 2 hours plus of public comment that was repetitive public comment with the intention, I feel, to disrupt the flow of the city. So my request is not to say, not changing any time limit, anything like that. It's just let's get the business done first. Then let's talk about the concerns and questions or whatever it is in the end. And I'm requesting it be done tonight. Mr. Shelley is, and I think the Vice Mayor, well, I'll let them speak for themselves.
Well,
Mr. Williams, you have the floor.
yeah, thank you, Mayor. Well, I was all for that in the beginning, but I'm glad that colleagues able to come around to see where I thought we were going to be at anyway. So that's fine. I don't have a problem with it. Now, as it relates to tonight, I don't know how that will make us look as perception. It's always the perception of what we do up here. Not that we're doing anything bad, but it's always the perception of what it looks like. So I say if we're going to do it. I mean, I think it should be done at the next meeting. That way, the public is noticed, and we go from there. But I go with the consensus of the council.
At this point, there's a motion and a second, so we'll let me, I'm sorry. Mr. Williams?
Yeah, I'm done. Thank you, Mayor.
Vice Mayor?
Thank you, Mayor. I understand why it was initially moved to the front of the meeting to give our residents the opportunity to speak before we conduct business. But in light of what has been transpiring at these meetings, it seems as if the motives and the intentions have been changed. So I support moving the public comment towards the end, and I like the hybrid of that, giving the city manager or us, if we are prepared to respond to public comment. I like that addition very much. I'm not comfortable with starting that tonight. I think it should be properly noticed to give our residents the opportunity to speak tonight before we get through our business. So I will support it moving forward, but I can't support it moving forward tonight.
Thanks. Mr. Burgess?
Thank you. I remember sitting here in 2005 and 2006, 2004, and having to wait till midnight some nights at those long meetings. But I think people with sincere issues show up and stay there if they're sincere about their issues. So I fully support this. I think it's disruptive and tough on some of our clients that come down here that might be not having enough money, and they have 3 or 4 experts with them, and they're paying a lot of money to sit there. So I agree, in light of what we've seen the last several meetings or last 6 months, whatever it is, that we should move them to the back side of the meeting. My question for tonight would be to our attorney. We can move it if we want to with a motion and a majority. Is that correct, without any issues?
You have no problem moving it tonight if you want to.
Okay. Thank you. I just wanted to make sure and put that point out there that legally we can. So thank you. And I'll leave it at that, Mayor, but I do support moving it, and I'll follow whatever the majority wants to do tonight.
And I agree. This is simply a question to the council that's here as to how they want to approach this. My request is that it's not being used as a true public comment section. It's being used as a disruptive tool to embarrass the city and to try to, because it's the same conversation 27 or 30 times a night. We know the issue. We know the concerns. It's not in our jurisdiction. It's out of our hands, and yet the constant same question over and over again. They can have their opportunity to speak, but look, this is a business meeting. This is a business meeting. We're deciding the business access to this city right here tonight, not the other. So, okay, let's just do this. Let's just do this to see. We've got a motion to move it tonight to the end, which is, this is a very short meeting. I felt like it might be a good opportunity to try. So let me just do a roll call on the question tonight. Hopefully, if it doesn't pass, someone will put another motion on the table to do something different. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Councilman Burgess?
Yes.
Councilman Williams?
We're voting yes for.
To move it tonight. So your vote, no?
Councilman Roth?
Yes.
Councilman Shelley?
No.
Vice Mayor Fairclough?
No.
Mayor Porter?
No. Is there a second motion? Somebody make a motion?
Mayor, that we enact this at the next council meeting, as it's been noted.
My error, fat fingers on my yes vote.
It's still died
Still,
because
yeah.
it's a tie.
Failed.
Motion failed, so
So my motion, Mayor, if I have the floor,
you do, sir.
to move that we will place the public comment after the city manager.
Before the city.
I'm sorry, before the city manager's business, and that we would do that in the month of September.
All right, so is there a second? Second. Okay, roll call, Madam Clerk.
Councilman Roth?
Yes.
Councilman Williams?
Yes.
Councilman Burgess? Councilman Shelley? Vice Mayor Fairclough? Mayor Porter?
Yes.
The motion carries.
Motion carries. Thank you, everyone. I appreciate it. I'll open the public hearing at this time.